Hey everyone, it's Matt. The House Democratic leaders are speaking right now in a news conference. We want to listen onto this to see what they have to say, because they're probably going to be talking about the stimulus package and hopefully those checks and possibly the budget reconciliation. They're going to be starting this right now, so we're going to listen in on C-SPAN. Let's see what they have to say. Hopefully we get some more information here on stimulus. So let's listen in on this.
American will be vaccinated.
They just started this.
To provide assistance to the American people who are suffering from the economic pain connected to the COVID-19 pandemic, to ensure that we keep the promise to increase direct payment survival checks
There you go.
to $2,000 per person for everyday Americans, as well as to address the other needs of the American people in areas like unemployment,
Wow.
food insecurity, and those who find themselves on the brink.
He just referenced the $2,000 per month survival checks that I talked about in my video the other day.
On the budget resolution that will permit us to begin the process of moving forward expeditiously in order to address the framework of the American Rescue Plan that President Biden has set forth. We look forward to doing that and hope that some of our Republican colleagues will join us, because the COVID-19 pandemic is not a Democratic crisis or a Republican crisis. It's an American crisis. And as Joe Biden has indicated, as Speaker Pelosi has indicated, we look forward to addressing it together, to crush this virus together, to provide relief to the American people together, and ultimately to supercharge our economy and to build back better, and do that together, not as Democrats and Republicans, but as Americans. I now yield to the Vice Chair of the House Democratic Caucus, Pete Aguilar.
And that was Hakeem Jeffries, the Chair of the House Democratic Caucus.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the Chairman mentioned, it is a solemn day here under the dome as we pay tribute to Officer Sicknick, who gave his life trying to defend our Capitol and our democracy. The Chairman had an opportunity to pay respects with legislative leaders just a short time ago. I had an opportunity last night to pay my respects, and our condolences continue to go out to his family and the U.S. Capitol Police. Today marks 2 weeks that President Biden has been in office, and we are already seeing the positive changes that will help millions of Americans. From his quick action on COVID to his efforts to support American manufacturing, address the climate crisis, and help fix our broken immigration system, the president is delivering for the American people. I was glad to see the president put an emphasis on family reunification yesterday, and I look forward to working with the administration to ensure the families who were cruelly torn apart by Donald Trump are united. Our top priority continues to be passing the president's American Rescue Plan and to build back our communities and jumpstart our economy. This should have bipartisan support, as the chairman said, but congressional Democrats won't be impeded by Republican obstruction. We have to get this done, and we will.
Thank you, Pete. Any questions?
Hakeem Jeffries.
I'm going to have two questions. The first is on Biden's call today. Did he have any reservation whatsoever about moving on reconciliation in a partisan manner? And can you explain what sort of message he was, if he was fully supportive of it, what specifically he said?
Yeah, we didn't discuss the process of reconciliation in terms of the legislative mechanisms as has been set forth to move the particular rescue plan. It was a high-level discussion about the need to address the pain and the suffering and death being experienced by the American people. He talked about the importance of bipartisanship, but framed it, in my view, in the broadest possible context. It's important to note that a significant number of Trump Republicans amongst the American electorate back the American Rescue Plan. And of course, we have entities like the Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Business Roundtable, which back the American Rescue Plan. Republican mayors and county executives and governors have also expressed support for President Biden's American Rescue Plan. So it is bipartisan amongst the American people. The question that remains is, will it be bipartisan here in the House and the Senate? And that's for the Republicans to decide. Are they going to continue the obstruction that took place for 8 years when Barack Obama was president? Or are they willing to actually extend the hand of friendship on behalf of the American people, with Joe Biden being a willing partner to work with us as congressional Democrats to get this done? And we'll see what happens later on today.
And are you concerned about the precedent it would set if Democrats vote to strip a member of the other party of their committee assignment?
Well, Kevin McCarthy should handle this problem because Marjorie Taylor Greene is totally out of control as a QAnon caucus leader, sympathizer, and someone who has denied that mass shootings where children were massacred has taken place, as well as promoted and apparently embraced efforts by some to facilitate violence against our legislative leaders. And so it seems to me that the best thing that could happen at this moment is for Kevin McCarthy to make clear that she should not be on the Education and Labor Committee. If he doesn't make that decision, I think, as the Speaker and Steny Hoyer have indicated, we'll be prepared to move forward, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
On the stimulus, do you see the House changing the Biden plan anyway? And if so, how? And then on the minimum wage, is that definitely going to be in here?
Well, that's a question for the committee chairs to work out after we take the next step in the process. I think there is strong support for a $15 minimum wage. President Biden has expressed support for it, and certainly the House Democratic Caucus has passed the Raise the Wage Act in the previous Congress and strongly supports the effort to move forward in that direction. The three most important things I think that the president has indicated, and certainly that House Democrats are supportive of, is the need to make sure we provide direct assistance to everyday Americans, including
Stimulus
increasing the survival checks to a total of $2,000, to make sure we address the needs of the Americans who are dealing with unemployment and food insecurity, as well as confronting the possibility of homelessness, to make sure that we provide substantial funding so that every single American can be vaccinated in a safe and effective way, and of course to make sure that we provide the support to state and local governments so they can continue to provide public health, public safety, public housing, public education, public transportation, and the provision of the public good.
I think one of the things I also heard from the president this morning is the danger in not doing enough, the urgency of the moment, and to ensure that we do what we can to address vaccines, as the chairman mentioned, state and local support, food insecurity. All of these issues are priorities for the House Democratic Caucus and for the American people. And the president affirmed that in encouraging us to address this crisis. And so that's what
Sorry, this is really boring. I thought they were going to be a little bit more prompt with everything. They're talking really slow and asking other questions. I was really hoping they would focus a lot on stimulus here, but he continues to refer to the stimulus checks as survival checks and $2,000. Have you noticed that? They've said it a few times now. So let's listen for a little bit longer here. Sorry, I thought this was going to be a little bit more informative. They've been talking about it a little bit, but man, it's pretty boring, I have to say.
and I believe our caucus will support.
And this guy's talking really slow.
Acting on that tomorrow if Leader McCarthy does not act himself. I think it's just important to mention some of the senators who have commented on this as well. North Dakota Republican Kevin Cramer
All right.
said, personally,
Hang on.
I'd have a hard time supporting, for example, her positions on school shootings being staged.
All right, so again, This is one of the reporter guys. He's talking really slow, and who knows what his question even is. He's just rambling about nothing, apparently. But yeah, so like I said in my video this morning, the House is going to be voting on that budget resolution today. As you saw there just a few minutes ago, they referenced the budget resolution. They're talking about it there, saying, let's see what happens this afternoon. But they continue to refer to the stimulus checks as survival checks, $2,000. If you didn't check out my video from the other day, I'm not sure which day I uploaded that, but it was something along the lines of monthly stimulus checks, survival checks. It's something like that. It's just a few days ago. Check that video out. But basically, we have a group of over 50 House representatives who are proposing that we get monthly stimulus checks in the amount of $2,000, and they're branding it as survival checks. So that's what they continue to refer to. So I'm assuming this guy that keeps saying survival checks is definitely one of the co-signers of that proposal. Let's listen for a minute.
Move to remove a Republican from the committee process, doesn't that present the risk that in some point when you're not in the majority, that comes back to be something that's used against you?
Okay.
I don't believe anyone in our caucus would ever say comments that would.
Okay, again, they're just talking about nonsense, really. It has nothing to, what they're talking about at the moment has nothing to do with stimulus. I think that's what we really want to focus on, right? Usually when they have these Q&A with reporters, typically they have a lot of question and answer with reporters, and a lot of times it's focused mainly around the stimulus package and all of that. So it's really nice to listen in on this. We can listen a little bit longer, but yeah, they're just kind of wasting time talking about other stuff. And I don't want to take all your time here, but I also want to make sure that we can capture all this stuff and make sure that we're hearing it.
By Senate Republicans. This is not a partisan issue about precedent that may be established if we're compelled to act to address a situation that Kevin McCarthy should address himself.
Okay, they're talking about Kevin McCarthy and things that he needs to address in the House. Again, nothing to do with stimulus. We can certainly keep listening, but like I always say, I just want to be respectful of your time, so I don't want to keep you here forever, but I really just want to hear anything they have to say about stimulus. But either way, the House will be voting on that budget resolution later today. Like I said in my video this morning, you know, they're moving really slow. If you didn't notice in my video this morning, I was feeling a little bit like kind of just frustrated. I mean, really, it's just like, man, you know, it's obvious what needs to be done right now, right? It's pretty obvious. I think all of us here watching these videos, all of you that continue to come back on a daily basis, which I sincerely appreciate you, by the way, I think all of us, it's pretty obvious what needs to happen, right? Everybody needs additional support. You know, throw out some extra money. It's like I've been saying in some of my videos lately. It's going to be, by the time they get this thing passed and sent out, it's going to be too little, too late once again, just like the $600. I mean, realistically, why did they even bother with the $600? I mean, yeah, of course, it's helping a little bit, but that's it, a little bit. And now by the time they get the next one approved, whatever it is, $1,000, $1,400, $2,000, we don't know what it's going to be, but who knows when that's going to be on? I mean, unless it's distributed to us by next week, you know what I mean? Like, they're running out of time. Again, they're going to be behind the game once again if they send this thing out in a month from now or who knows when. You know, we keep saying it. Too little, too late. You guys need to do something. You guys need to act faster. I think all of you are feeling kind of as frustrated as I am about this whole thing. It's just like, it's obvious what needs to be done here. You know, if that means they need to lower the income thresholds for these stimulus checks, then do it. You know what? I mean, the studies have shown that the households with higher incomes don't necessarily need the money. That's great. Send it to people with under $50,000 of income or $40,000 of income. Those are the people that need it. The majority of you watching these videos fall into that category. You earn under 40 grand a year. You probably need the extra money, right?
Irresponsible.
All right.
And Kevin McCarthy needs to.
All right, they're still talking about Kevin McCarthy and all his business. All right, I'm going to keep listening to it, but I'm going to let you go. If anything else comes out of this, I'll certainly let you know with another update. But I feel like, considering they're still talking about this, they're probably not going to talk about stimulus anymore, simply because those are usually the first questions that come out from reporters. Either way, I wanted to listen in. Nothing too exciting. However, the fact that they do continue to talk about these stimulus checks as monthly Well, sorry, I don't think he said monthly, but he did say survival checks, $2,000 survival checks. So that's something in there, a little indication. You just got to do your research. You got to be like a detective when you listen to this stuff, because sometimes people use different words and it kind of gives you a little glimpse into possibly what's going on behind the scenes. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry this wasn't all that productive. It was something, but you just never know what they're going to say. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your afternoon, and I'll catch you again soon with more updates. I'm always on your team. Just please remember that. I'm always here for you. That's why I do this. I want to help you guys out. All right. Enough out of me. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, by the way. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Thanks.